This is Sandstorm. This is Sandstorm.
Connect yourself with the word, so you're always online. Sonic can run fast, but my lord is always on time. I was doing the word, but only to check off the list. My lord didn't do me like that, so why would I do him like this? It's time to push his agenda, even if the odds are stacked. Because he makes a way out of no way, and he's got my back. You feel the pressure, huh? That ain't enough. We fall down, but now it's time to level up.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Ew, I don't like that. There we go. That's much better. How is everybody doing? We are starting off extra late because Sandstorm was on a date. Yeah. I went an hour and a half out of my way. Shout outs to Terminator Juice. I was actually in his city. I'm sure he's gonna be like, dude, what the frick? You gonna stop by and say hello? You were in my city. I know that's disrespect, so I'll have to tell him I apologize in the future. Yeah, so that is the main reason as to why the Stormcast is starting so late. I actually would have had Geronimo run the Stormcast until I got here, but unfortunately he's away and Vito is away as well. Well, they were away at the time. I don't know if he's I don't think Vito's I think he's away now. So he was unable to do it as well. So we just had to push the whole thing back. With that being said, got my main man here, Jack. Jack, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I just kind of substituted the time with doing some music until you came on, so I'm all good, man.
I feel that. What's crazy is I don't know if you saw it because I know you're on my Instagram, but like I did that. I had to remix that Kalani beat. I was at work, so it's been showing up at my job. We're on the line and everything, and so they run Pandora or something like that, and it just plays like the general music, like nothing special, to accommodate everybody. And that song comes on maybe 2 to 3 times every 3 days or so.
Really?
And Vito actually was the one who showed it to me months and months ago. I think maybe 2 months prior before it really started popping off, up here in Michigan. As I was listening to it, he was like, what's wrong with this song? And I'm like, when is the beat gonna drop? He's like, I know, you know what I'm saying? Bro, the beat don't ever drop. So every time I hear that song, I'm beatboxing in my, how producers are. Beatboxing in my head, I'm banging on the table, and I'm like, you know what? All right, it's gonna have to finally happen. I'm gonna just have to do it and just call it good so I can get out of my system. So,
right.
That was the essence of it.
I know the feeling because you can listen to a song, and there's times I've listened to beats, and I'm like, I just need either something to amp up or something to drop, and they just never do it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, y'all right.
Causes real problems. What up, Exodia? He said, don't lie, you're late. Yeah, but that's CP, that's super CP time. That's CP time ultimate.
Yeah.
I would be 3 hours and 30 minutes late. 3 hours and 30 minutes late since we started at 7:05, or 3 hours and 32 minutes late. Golly. So, but we're here now. We're making it happen. And I'm not going to keep you guys for incredibly long, because usually we end at about 11, but we'll get all the talking points done where we need to get the talking points done. So real quickly here, I was going to say, you know what? We might as well. We just won't make it an incredibly long story, but what have you been playing lately?
Still on Xeno.
Okay.
Like really, it's just been Xeno, and since the kids are here, it was always good to jump back into Nintendo Sports as well as Nintendo Switch Sports, and then also Jamboree.
Okay.
Hmm.
Getting ready for that Jamboree TV, huh?
Of course, yeah,
Okay.
because they've seen it, so they already know what to prepare for. So it's just a matter of time.
I feel that. For me, what have y'all been playing lately, chat? Go ahead and leave it in the comment section. As well, we are live on Twitter. Make sure that you leave a comment there as well if you're watching from Twitter. But what have y'all been playing lately? For the Sandman, what have I been playing? Xenoblade, obviously. Definitely some Xenoblade. Played a little bit of 2K14, still moving forward with that, which is wild. Really? Yeah. It's crazy how much they strip from that game when that game is like no longer like the main game. It is wild. Like I don't even mind them taking out the online stuff because I don't do online.
Right.
But like the store isn't there. You just can't go buy shoes. You can customize shoes, but you can't never wear them because there's no area for you to equip it. It's like, why would you even leave that in there then? Like, what was the point of that?
They know everybody gonna move on, so it is what it is.
That's wild. Like, just take it out then. At that point, just take it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just so many pieces that are stripped from that game, but I still play it because I know that like. Honestly, when push comes to shove, it doesn't really matter because I'm just using my own character. So
right.
I've yet to still get into Diablo 5. Maybe I'll do that, or 4. Maybe I'll do that at some time tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's still blowing my mind. I don't know if it's because I have so much to play. Because I haven't. I'll tell you this: ever since Xenoblade came out, I have not even played Baldur's Gate.
Really?
Yeah. Like Xeno has been eating up my time. And I can't even say that Xeno is ate up all the time because when I don't feel like playing that, I play Monster Rancher. So
wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I'll get back into them at some point. Yo, what up, Joycey? Appreciate you coming through. Dark Sunrise, appreciate you coming through too. But yeah, those are basically the games I've been playing. Chapter, I think I just got out of chapter. No. Chapter 6 is when you get the license, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I haven't started chapter 6. I'm at the end of chapter 5. Have to start chapter 6. So
okay.
Dang. Wait. But chapter 6 is when you get your arm shot off, right?
Yeah, because no, 6 is when you have to go and like collect everything to get your license.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then, yeah, I'm on 5. Have to start 6. Okay. Yeah, man, I got a ways to go. Y'all way further than I am. But my character is like, I think I'm at 34.
Mm-hmm.
Level 34, something like that. Okay. 34, 35. So
number wise, you're not far off from me. I mean, of course, it's gonna take you a minute to get there, but I think I just hit 41 or 42 today.
Okay.
So yeah, you're not too far off.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, go ahead and leave down in the comment section what you guys have been playing. It looks like a few of you guys already have. Let me put this in the overlay so we can see what's going on here. Jazzy says he's still playing Xenoblade Chronicles X. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Biggs, I've been seeing you on the Switch. He said Age of Calamity, Streets of Rage, and 13. I can't read. 13.
Is that the Streets of Rage that just dropped on NSO, or because I feel like we had 2 already?
Yeah, 2 was already there, but 3 just jumped in, didn't it?
I think it was the first one that just jumped in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right, because 2 came on before.
Mm-hmm.
I should know that because Skate was on there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Exodia also says Xenoblade Chronicles X. Jay said I'm giving Xenoblade break till I get my Switch 2 to
I'm
see
hearing
how.
a lot of people say that, like they're gonna wait, they're gonna hold out to get that possible 60 bump, to run it, because yeah, I mean there's areas that yeah it fights hard, but yeah, I don't blame them.
Um, let's see. Plus, I got stuck on the stupid Len mission, so I'm thinking of restarting. Yeesh.
Really?
He said, "Yeah, Xenoblade X. It's taking me half the time to beat Xenoblade X on this playthrough compared to the first one. Infinite Overdrive versus the Chapter 10 and 11 bosses. So yeah, when you learn how to loop that stuff just right,
Yeah, I mean that chart helps tremendously.
mm-hmm.
So it definitely helps. It's just I gotta do better with my cooldowns, because my cooldowns, jeez.
Yeah. I feel you on that. There's a lot because there's some actually. So what did I just switch to? I realized they can. I feel like because you have that added cooldown piece, you. I don't know if Jaguar might be up there on the Metal Jaguar might be up there on power wise because I'm noticing there's a move where you can flip forward and attack from behind. That's a critical. The melee move after that like makes you do like the Darth Maul butterfly little thing, flip backwards and then flip forward to do the same thing again.
Right.
And if you position right, then it'll allow you to move into what is that sliding slinger from the side and pop off a few. I'm like, yo, this is and they all naturally have a low cooldown, but then you have the speed cooldown on. I'm like, man, this is crazy. Joycey J said that's not Joycey J. I'm excited for Age of Empires. Yeah. I'm actually kind of excited for that as well too. I want to see what the other characters are. If it's only gonna be Zelda, it looks like we're gonna use the other champions.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I want to see what abilities they have because we haven't really seen them. I'm assuming this is all before they even created any of their, the what do they call them in Breath of the Wild? Their little giant mechs. I can't.
The Divine Beast.
Yeah, Divine Beast.
Yeah.
So I wonder. I'm curious to know what kind of powers they're gonna have.
Yeah, be very interested.
And then last one. Let's see. Squared said, "I'm also over level, and I normally want to do affinity missions before main story, but I don't want so many epic fights to last 2 seconds." That's fine with me.
I'm cool with that too.
I especially in this game more so than Xenoblade Chronicles 3 because that was a little boring. She said I don't care. I want the story.
Yeah, the only time I would say like having these fights only last a short amount of time sucks is when you're trying to collect something for a mission and you're just wiping them out way too fast to break off an appendage, and it's like, oh my goodness. But you can buy them, of course, but I'm like, this should be an easy mission, but we're killing them too fast.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until later when you do like the fetch quest or whatever. And like it's one where you have to make sure you get whatever falls off them, and you be sitting there and you be like, dang, I killed them all, and I only got one piece. I need 7 of them. I didn't realize that you could just go into your rewards and look to see if it was like, oh,
yeah. I didn't know who knows the thing until somebody told me, and I was like, ooh, okay, very interesting.
That's why we got these many tickets. Okay, because I wasn't going to use these suckers at all. All right, so go ahead and leave in the comment section the games that you're playing if you haven't gotten the opportunity yet. Let me bring up my Twitter side because we definitely can't see y'all at the moment. Let's see here. There we are. Got it. Okay. Throw this Twitter side on here. Boom. There we go. So real quickly here, we're gonna kind of recap over the Nintendo Treehouse, which has been gone for a while, but it was a very interesting and knowledgeable experience to get a little bit of extra stuff that we didn't see at the reveal. So they played a fair bit of Mario Kart, to say the least, and Donkey Kong, to say the least. We got to see Dragon Drive and some pieces of Welcome Tour. So let's see here. Sorry. Leave a comment and so what we wanted to do is go ahead and check out some of this stuff, some of the Nintendo Treehouse that I thought that I had on here. That is the direct, and just kind of look back at some of the things that we thought were very interesting, and some things that kind of stood out for us as far as explanations and those kind of things. So first is Mario Kart Grand Prix gameplay. Let's not do that one because we kind of explained that one, didn't we? The Mario Kart. Okay. Donkey Kong Bonanza.
They're really not showing a lot of that game, so I'm like, okay, what in the world is happening after a certain point? Because you know, with Mario, they just went ham. Mario, and of course with Metroid, everyone that has gone to these events have expressed like, hey, this looks like it's the start of the game. You get that first boss fight out the way, and that's it. Like every other game is getting cut very short to where Mario, they are giving us in droves, you know, content, but at the same time, still not enough to where they still feel like they need a direct, which is crazy.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because like it makes you wonder if, because like we don't even know who the I don't like that either.
I'm about to say, that look weird.
And now you can't even see. Hello?
There you go.
Hello? Golly. Am I home? Golly. Hold on. Wait a minute. All right, we're just gonna do that. Okay. What's interesting, like you said, is that they don't show off pieces, but like we don't know who the villain is. We ain't got a name of the villain. We ain't got no reason as to why we're down here or where we came from.
Yeah.
Is this like an Alice in Wonderland type of situation? It's
very interesting, as into one, getting the idea of why he's even doing this. Like, why is he mining? Of course, we saw what looked like 2 or 3 villains within the actual trailer of the game being shown off. I saw some people looking at hints of possibly King K. Rool, but I was like, we hadn't seen K. Rool in a minute. So the last time we saw K. Rool was Smash, but we really haven't seen K. Rool in a minute, because which I agree, they need to add more villains into the DK universe. It shouldn't just be Kremlings and K. Rool side. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I want to know what all of this is about. Like you said, the villains, what is this aisle that we're looking at? How deep down are we? Or how far up are we so we keep going further down? So I'm curious to just see what is the plot for this game at this point.
Yeah, because even looking at that piece, it's like, okay, well, like, are we dealing with some Majora's Mask type stuff? Like, what's really going on here? And look how that is. Yeah, that's crazy. And obviously, it's not the same Donkey Kong Isle because you don't see his face. So,
wow, yeah, this game looks amazing. But I know when we did see like the 2D section within the trailer for it, it did look like it was, you know, the DK Island, that very first level that we were in the first game. So I don't know. Like I really want to know more about this game, and then also I want to learn more about the whole Pauline aspect of it too.
Yeah, because has it become official yet? Do we
No,
for
they're
sure
not gonna
know?
say anything about that
Okay.
because it was just one of those. Oops, Korea made a mistake, similar to how Nintendo in the what was it? Either the treehouse or one of the trailers, they slipped up and put Rainbow Road in the footage. And so it's like, oh, we know Rainbow Road's gonna be there. So
Right,
not like
right.
we had any doubt, but there is a Rainbow Road, which I'm curious as into how do you even get to it.
It makes me. So I was thinking of it's gonna be just like in the Mario movie, where it's just like you jump off like a cliff of some sort or something like that, and then it just randomly shows up.
That'd be dope.
Um,
That would be dope.
yeah. So like it would be. I think so. One thing about the Rainbow Road, and this may not be as dope to y'all, but one thing about Rainbow Road is like it's always known to be the hardest level, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I always feel like it's somewhat bearable in different ways as long as you're not getting hit.
Mm-hmm.
I think one thing that would make it dope and kind of hard is if it produced itself as you were driving, but not like so close that you feel like you're about to fall off as you drive, but just like meters in front of you. So then like if you're in the lead, like you have that slight disadvantage of you don't know when it's going to turn on you.
I get what you're saying. That would be crazy because that course is already hard.
Right.
But then now you factor in you don't know whether you're turning left or right. That might be a thing, brother.
Yeah, you get caught off guard. Like if the lead person falls off, then it, obviously it stops until whoever was behind them, moves forward. Then the rest of the course moves. Because it's like what you only get one lap on the actual course itself.
Because it's so long.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that would be cool for a Mario. That would be absolutely.
I would stay all the way out of first place to tell you that much.
Right, I'm sitting in second place. Just know I got this red ready to get you.
Right.
I'm gonna stay far away enough so I have time to react to turns and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but I'm close enough that I ain't gonna miss.
Because all it takes is that one wrong turn,
right?
And you're out of there. Now, I will say, based off of the thousands of hours of footage I've watched, whether it was somebody else playing it or the treehouse, Lakitu seems to put you back on the course faster than what he typically does. Because on other Mario Karts, he kind of take his dear sweet time getting you back on course. Yeah, but they drop you on there pretty fast. So I can only imagine you falling off a Rainbow Road wouldn't result into you falling back onto the map. So they got to get you back on there pretty quick.
Okay. Yeah, because that's he be meow.
And then take your coins on top of it.
Right. And I'll take that for a fee.
Right. So is there anything in particular you're looking for in this into Donkey Kong? Like, is there anything that has to be here for you?
Honestly, no. But I will say this, and this is actually kind of interesting to me because I never thought about it until now. The one thing that I am a little surprised at is that you, from what it looks like for now, you don't have a companion.
Right. Other than that, Rock.
Yeah, other than the Rock, because it's like because every Donkey Kong that I've played, not to say that you need as many companions as DK64,
of course,
but like you got your backup, you got your little homie, and I don't think Rock or Paulina or whoever is going to do that, right? I don't think they're gonna be the backup like that. So that piece is interesting because it was always like you at Donkey Kong, he was like the strong one or the well-balanced one, depending on which game you were playing. Right. And then the person he was playing with was always like either the high jumper or he was the fast person. So I'm interested to see how that's all gonna affect the game that we're used to. But this is also the new generation, so
Yeah.
they don't know nothing about that. But Dwayne
Dwayne
Johnson,
Johnson's companion.
hey, that would be sweet.
You know, I well, the thing is, and this is what, if I had to be real with myself, the only downside that I'm seeing in this is the platforming of the levels. That's always been the staple for
Hmm.
DK, of like having those difficult levels to traverse through. And
Yeah.
this one, of course, you know, you're going through mining, looking for stuff, but it's like, okay, do we go into levels to where we actually have to challenge ourselves in like a 2D aspect, and then
Hmm.
the 3D level is just more of us excavating and
Hmm.
trying to get to those 2D parts? Because that's like always been a staple for Donkey Kong, of being able to do platforming.
Yeah.
You know, Mario found a way to bring that into the 3D world, but in the same vein of what I'm talking about, you look at 64, you jump into the
Hmm.
paintings, those turn into levels of you trying to traverse and do different platforming to make it through those levels.
Right.
Um, Sunshine, the same way, Galaxy, the whole 9 yards, it goes down the line. So when I look at this so far of what they shown off, I'm going into these levels and I'm just tearing
Breaking
stuff up,
stuff.
looking for either A, bananas, or either B, I'm looking for a key to
Mhm.
unlock something that this thing here has to whistle to unlock sometimes. And then there's checkpoints, of course, throughout the way. But I'm like, okay, if it's just to find bananas, if he can climb everything, mine is like what looks like metal objects. Like,
Mhm.
where's the difficulty? Is it just trying to find things that are hidden, or is it just like this platforming that's gonna make it even more difficult or even more fun to actually play? I just want to see how they fleshed it out.
Okay. Yeah. I just, as I was listening to you, I just noticed that the rock person has void wrapped all around it. So I
Mm-hmm.
definitely think you're right or they are right with the whole Pauline
Yeah.
um piece. Obviously, whatever monkey that is a magic wielding monkey. Um and so he probably put the void
Yeah. Probably.
on whoever it is. So yeah, I'm there's a lot of curiosities with it, but I mean either way, it's still gonna be an exciting game. I think Jay
Yeah.
Biggs has said that he would like to. Oh no, RJ, what up, RJ? He said honestly, I'm happy they're not throwing out everything, which is okay.
Yeah. 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 I mean, you gotta like feed people until it's time to come out.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to throw everything at people and like, okay, well, what's next? You know, these days you got to tread lightly what you give people, because if you don't give them enough, they complain. You give them too much, they complain. So you kind of have to find that special spot.
Hmm. Yep. Absolutely. Um, But I mean, Nintendo's showing off gameplay like Nintendo does, so
Right.
that's I'm good with that. So the next game, let me see, let me bring it back.
Jazzy, yeah, perfect. Yeah, Wreck It Ralph Bonanza. And I think that's something else I've heard other channels mention as well, is we've never really had a game that showcases DK strength,
Hmm.
like, at all. Because even when you think about all the games that we've played, Diddy can pick up the barrels. I mean, they can kill the enemies as well. So really, there was nothing outside of speed or, you know, jumping that would really differentiate the characters.
Yeah,
So even when you talk about like the bigger, more hefty criminalings that were in Country 2, I mean, really, you had to use a barrel or use like a animal friend to kill them. So DK has never really been like, you know, he's big and strong, but no game has really displayed that per se.
yeah. Like I said, he was, especially in '64, he was the quote unquote the well balanced person,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. Hmm.
He wasn't the fastest, but he wasn't the slowest. He wasn't the most mobile. Wasn't the highest jumper, but
Hmm.
he had enough jump. So, um, man, some parts of me missed that game. If they could just get it right.
Yeah, It's a lot they would have to change for sure.
Yeah, one of the to this day, in my opinion, one of the best 64 games. One of the best soundtrack 64 games.
Yep.
So with that being said, we came on to Metroid pause. Came to Metroid Prime 4. Um, and this one actually I'm a little more surprised that they showed off more of this. Um, it looked like who was it? Trey, Doc Trey was just talking about why isn't this game a uh, day one? A day
Yeah,
one release
yeah.
game?
I was curious about that too. But then I think we talked about not having this and Mario Kart run into each other.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like I would know a lot of people who would pick up both.
Sure, for sure.
I've heard some people talk about how if Mario Kart is $80 and it does well, that theoretically Nintendo can make this as well as Pokemon ZA $80 as well.
That's right. We don't even have a price for this yet.
No.
That's right. Okay. Ooh, that so that kind of raises the alarm a little bit. Why
Yeah.
haven't they given a price for this game?
Yeah. I'm gonna say that both. I'm gonna go off a limb and say both of those games are gonna be $70.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but
Now, are we looking at with them being 70? Those are 60 Switch.
yeah,
Okay.
yep. I think they'll be 60 for Switch. Um, yeah, because 70 for Switch and 80 for yeah,
Be hefty.
we're already dealing with a whole lot of backlash already.
Yeah.
I think the both of them will be 60 and 70 instead of 70 and 80. What up, Bria? Appreciate you coming through. Jay said,
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah.
yeah. That's what I was thinking too. I'm getting the $4.99 and then the and then like this would have been my other game, which I wouldn't have had problems with, but
Of course, yeah. I mean, looking at this is where I'm conflicted, right? So if I'm looking at Metroid, while yes, I'm pretty sure they've spent a lot of time and detail in this game because this has been quite a cycle, especially with them having to refresh and start over with the cycle. Like I said in my previous video, I look at all of this as a form of value.
yeah,
So if I'm looking at value, Metroid has not crossed that threshold yet. Like Zelda, yep, you can do 80. Mario, you can do 80.
Yeah.
And Pokemon, even though I'm conflicted with that too, you can you can do 80.
Yeah.
But you can't deny the value of Pokemon. Like
Right.
the games run and look how they look, the value is ridiculous.
Right.
So I feel like those three, along with, of course, your Smashes, the Mario Karts, and all the other stuff, you can charge at 80. But I look at Metroid, Donkey Kong, and let's say like a Kirby and everything else as 70. So if this is 70, Switch to 60, Switch, then I feel like that's the great spot for this.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just the fact that we haven't seen enough to where I'm pretty much like, okay, shut up. We've put a lot more in this than you thought. So, that could be a thing too.
Yeah, I feel the same way because I think at the end of the day, this is still going to be a single player game. It's
For
not
sure.
going to be multiplayer. I think you're going to get a lot of content out of the game, and I think it's going to be a very good game.
Yeah.
But like you said, I don't think it warrants a $80 price tag. I'll put it this way. In all honesty, I think the only games that deserve, or yeah, I'll say deserve to get the $80 price tag is the ones that should receive that have gotten their roses or should
There you
receive
go.
the roses.
Yep.
Um, if you have not, if you're not in that top echelon of um, copy sold,
Mm-hmm.
um, Zelda was up there. As a matter of fact, I would say Animal Crossing could be $80.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, if you're not up there, if you ain't sell like that, I don't want to Smash. I don't want to say Smash should be up there, but I mean I would understand because Smash, just the amount of characters, unless they go back and reboot it, then I'd say it's back down to a 70. But
Right.
if it was all the characters in one and you get the HD version or 4K version of the game, I would say $80 is fair.
Well, so looking at the top titles, like when I look at Animal Crossing, I put that in the same category as Mario Kart, right? Where not only did it sell well, but we're talking about longevity. Now, in order for them to do that with Animal Crossing, though, they cannot do what they did with this last one. They dropped this last one, gave you a few things here and there, and then they just abandoned the game. Like that game should have had content releasing for it up until we are hearing about Switch 2 now. It should have been receiving content quite a while. So they have to keep that going. The same way we say like Mario Kart being at 80, we need to either keep getting some characters, get some more courses. Like we need to keep getting content to make it an evergreen title that lasts you throughout the entire generation. So when I look at Animal Crossing, yes, 100%. Stuff like Tamagotchi, I'm looking at 60 or 70. But when Doug Bowser was talking about why they price games where they price them, I saw a lot of people calling BS on like the replayability and the value. They just chalked it up as in, Nintendo just knew they can price it because of what it sold. I'm like, no, we really have to stop and think about what goes into these games. Like Nintendo usually makes something that's fun for you. You can replay it. It's nothing like crazy long. It is just something short and sweet. But if they're really putting this much detail and replayability and love in these games that's coming out for the Switch 2, I would imagine so. So if you have an evergreen racer, you have an evergreen life simulator in Animal Crossing, I would imagine they would want you to keep Tamagotchi Life up. What else could be an evergreen title? Like you said, Smash. Whenever that shows up, Smash can be an evergreen title. So there's quite a few things that could last you the entirety of the generation on the same vein as a 2K or a Madden. Even though those release every year, they can still last you the entire generation because roster updates and the engine in itself really doesn't change all that much. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things to where if I know you're going to get 1,000+ hours out of this game, of course I'm going to hit you over the head with 80. Like for sure.
So hold on. Okay. So it's funny that you say that because Shokio, I finally watched. Hold on, I wanted to line it up. There we go. Shokio had a video for his reaction for the Switch 2 reveal.
Okay.
And not often do I agree with him anymore. But he actually said something, and I was like, actually, you're kind of right. This is really what spawned the conversation. And I wanted to see if anybody caught on, but instead I got blocked. But that's okay. That's so this is what he says, and like as I was thinking about it, I was like, yeah, that actually makes sense.
I was thinking, 400 or 450 this whole time. I don't think it would have been under or above that range. So it fits in my expectations, but Mario Kart 9 specifically being $80 digital, $90 retail. Now, of course we have to talk about this, and people are defending this to high heaven. They're making excuses. They're blaming it on the tariffs and stuff like that, and I get it, right? I get it. But at the end of the day, I don't care. I don't care what's happening because everything else on the Switch is apparently, as of right now, $70. So if everything else is $70, why the hell?
Hold on, let me get to
That makes no sense. Like, oh boo hoo, I have to spend boo, PlayStation X copy, and then $80, which is more than retail copies of like AAA, PlayStation, Xbox titles, just Ubisoft, EA, Capcom titles. Like what? Now people are defending this, saying like, oh boo hoo, I have to spend $80 for a game that can give me $8,000 of content. That's actually like a comment that was said to me, and it's such a stupid fucking brain dead argument to make, because it's like games have always been that way. You can always put thousands of hours into games. I put thousands of hours into like every fucking Smash game. You know what I mean? There's $20 games you can put thousands of hours into. 40, 60. Like it doesn't matter, right? I can understand if the increase of cost of these games went up and scaled with like how good they are and how much we're getting, but generally speaking, as an industry, that really hasn't happened. If you were to ask me, in my opinion, I think gaming overall is worse than it's been in the past. So like the way I see it is like I'm paying more for worse products. Yeah, there might be more in terms of space, open world, but like open world doesn't give a game more inherent value. And I really wish gamers would like get that dumbass thought out of their heads, because that's just not how it works. The open world has to be good. Simply incorporating open world, bigger size, all this stuff, like it has to be incorporated in a way that counts and matters. You know what I mean? Simply putting that in there in the first place doesn't magically make that game more worthy or worth more than a $40 or $50 title. And there's $20, $40 titles that beat the shit out of AAA $70 titles, right? So like that doesn't, all that doesn't matter. But like more importantly, people say that argument and it's like, okay, but where do you draw the line? Where do we draw the line, right? Because if the defense of a $90 kart racer is going to be, you can play this game to the end of the gen, it's like, yeah, of course you can. It's a Mario Kart game and it's an online title, right? Yeah, of course. But like, couldn't I just argue that for if it was $100? And some of you, corporate loyalists will say, well, yeah. And then I can say, well, then how about 110? What about 120? What about 150? What about 175? What about 200? You see what I'm saying? Like, you just keep doing that. Oh, it's a one-time purchase of $200. You get to enjoy it for thousands of hours on end, right? Like, you see what I'm saying? It's a slippery slope. Stop defending this shit, y'all. Stop, because like you're setting yourselves up for failure.
So that's an interesting take, because it's one that I feel like people have. And this is how we get into the double standards. Is that there are games out there like we literally just got. Did we not just get the price for The Last of Us?
Yeah, 110.
Yeah, but that's okay though. That's all right.
You're getting two games.
You're getting two games.
That
and
were
one
already
of them
available
comes from PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
And the other one comes from PlayStation 4. And the other one comes from PlayStation 5 that's already there, but they want to sell you the same game again in the same generation. Make sense. But I say all that to say is like, how is it that it's okay for one generation? And he's right. And he's right, really. Like you said, at the end of the day, it's about what you value, not necessarily what the next person values, right? So, like, if you're gonna play it, and that's the way with any game. If you're gonna play Fortnite and you want to spend all your money, $100, $110, $115 over the course of the next 10, 15 years, that's your prerogative.
There you go. Yeah,
it shouldn't be deemed as bad. If you're gonna play Mario Kart, which I know I am, for the rest of the generation, with all its DLC, whether I choose to buy it at $80 or not, that's my prerogative. Like,
yeah. So how can I frame this? Okay, what he just expressed isn't, something that other content creators that don't care for this price have expressed.
Mm-hmm.
I think where the issue comes in, there's at least 3 or 4 different conversations within that one argument. So if we break it all down separately, we can get to a totally different solution on each one. So if we go the route of what is perceived as value, we all understand is going to be subjective across the board.
Mm-hmm.
What you deem is great for this price, the other person may deem it's not. And also we have the fear people, like the people that are afraid of everything, of the possibilities, the maybe crowd, the what if crowd of, well, if this one's okay, then they're probably going to go up to this. Maybe. I mean, I don't live my life off of what ifs. Like, if that was the case, I might as well just stay in this closet and just never move.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just a video game at the end of the day. But even when we look at what is perceived value, at least for me, he's right. You can get hours of content out of anything in the form of replayability, but that's different when they keep giving you content. So when we look at Splatoon,
Mm-hmm.
that is a game that is priced at $60, but they keep giving you content on top of content on top of content.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for that game to just be 60.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I also then go to the next conversation of he's right. There has been $60 to $70 games that come out incomplete, but then that's their way of getting more money out of you by saying, oh, you can get this early, or here's some clothes, and oh, here's like the updated version, the ultimate version, so you can rebuy it again or upgrade this one. Mm-hmm. So they're finding ways to get more money out of you to what it seems like pay for the fixes. So he's right in that aspect, but at the same time, these same companies, you complain that, the price went up for Nintendo at $80. I haven't played an incomplete Mario Kart game, but I've played an incomplete 2K and it's $70. Yep. I've played an incomplete Madden, that's $70. And I know some of these other games have come out incomplete. You look at Cyberpunk, while yes, it's getting its grace, it's getting its flowers right now, that game was a hot mess when it dropped.
Yep.
So those games get bought like in droves by the millions. They are at the top of the sales charts. So if you're gonna buy those games are the problems to me. Mm-hmm. If I know for a fact that I get the seal of approval from this company that's always been solid, granted, yes, Nintendo's not perfect. They do have some games that are a little finicky when they come out. We know that.
Right.
But if I'm looking at a franchise, Mario Kart has not slipped up. So when we talk about like what things should be priced and the open world aspect of it, you brought that into play because that was the big push for these third-party companies of realism and open world games. And so that drove the expense up. They never raised the price on the games though. So it goes back down to value, and whether you say value within the game or value of said title, there's nobody on this chat right now that can argue that Mario, Pokemon, Grand Theft Auto, and let's say Fortnite, those titles, those just four, I know there's more, can charge whatever they want to charge at this point.
Yep.
Because they have, and Call of Duty, I almost forgot. Call of Duty is another one. They have stood the test of time at this point. Like, they've been around for a minute, and they continue to give you more and more content, but at the same time, they're giving you value. Now, Call of Duty may have fallen off in value a little bit, but you can't deny what it is that genre or that franchise has done.
Yep.
So I think that's where we genuinely have to step back and look on both ends and be logical about this. As a consumer, of course you're going to want the lower price. That you wouldn't be the consumer. Like, you wanted the lower price, but at the same time, you have to understand your thought process is why a lot of these companies are gone.
Yep.
A lot of these companies should have kept their game at 60. They shouldn't have dropped it. Like, we talk about Ubisoft all the time. Who are they selling themselves to right now? So you really have to like genuinely look at what it is you're asking for. It was the same thing with the console. 450. Most people are like, oh, that's not the argument. There are people arguing at 450.
Yeah.
And it's really because we want Nintendo to be on par, but we don't want to pay the price for it.
Right.
Which is nuts to me. Like, you got to pay to play. And that's where we really have to be honest. If I want X, Y, and Z company that I love to still be on top or to be here for the next generation or two, maybe they need to increase the prices because of what they're giving me.
Mm-hmm. And I'll say this too. And it's funny you brought up the price point of the console. It is wild to me. It's wild to me. All right, let me pause this because I gotta say something. It's wild to me that Digital Foundry
I had a feeling you was going there.
on their own channel said that they don't know the power of the system. They felt like it was closer to PlayStation 4, but they don't know the power of the system. They have to get it in their hands first.
Right.
But then they turn around and get on IGN, their parent company, and flat out say it's closer to the power of the PS4. And what blows my mind, I feel like they flip flop so much is crazy to me.
Oh yeah.
How much they flip flop? Oh, it's risky. Oh,
he's back.
There he is. There he is. Like Jay said, he was getting all his videos ready. He was getting them all together. But it's crazy to me that you can bring up the PlayStation 4, say it's on par with the Switch 2, and the Switch 2 have 12 gigabytes of RAM, run 1080p at 120 frames per second, and 4K at 60 frames per second, and the PlayStation can't do any of that
at all. No,
at all. Like, not even remotely. And then you talk about on the lines of the PS4 Pro, and the PS4 Pro, I don't even think runs at 120 frames either.
I have no idea.
I think it's just
completely ignore that one.
I think it's just 4K 60. But even still, y'all can see the Street Fighter 2 comparisons and see that the Switch looks better than the PlayStation 5. And the PlayStation 5 looks better than the PlayStation 4. So, like, what are y'all doing?
They know what they're doing. They know.
So it's weird that they would throw that out. Oh yeah, see, he like tried to collect all his stuff.
Oh yeah, he about to go ham.
Yeah.
But I mean, to your same point, I think who was it that got onto them early? Actually, Super Metal Dave of all people. He mentioned that his issue with them was with Final Fantasy VII. They're trying to do the comparison between Switch and PS4, but it's like Integrate is only on PS5.
Yeah.
So why are you doing the comparison of those two? They're two different versions. So they keep trying to push it, and I don't know why, because it doesn't benefit them. I really don't know. It's the wildest thing.
Yeah. It's funny because at first they were saying the stuff that we were saying, and like, oh, okay, somebody must have got fired. Like, somebody must have felt some sort of way. And it's just wild to me that like now they're like, nope, double back. Y'all going the wrong way. Y'all going the wrong way. Go the other way. Okay, Risky. I'm only read one of yours. Sandstorm. Sandstorm, what's your take on Nintendo has become the most hated gaming company, more than EA, Take Two, Ubisoft, Bethesda, Activision, and Blizzard? They were that before
Before, yeah.
before any of this stuff. This isn't new news. It's not like they just became hated like today.
Yeah.
It's always been that way. And the only thing I can say shame on Nintendo for is it's a shame on y'all that y'all thought that they were going to change. Um, it's a shame on y'all that y'all thought things were going to be different just because y'all were sitting in first place and y'all had all the pieces to the pie. It was never going. It was never. Y'all let too much room. You know what I'm saying? You let too much. You was playing defense, and you thought they was going to drive to the hole, and so you prep for that, and instead you just gave them a little too much space, and they said, "Oh, space? Oh, let's go there. Is that space right there? Oh yeah, let me go ahead. Shwah. Um, it should have never been that way. Uh,
No, it shouldn't. But I mean, honestly, you're right. I mean, the hate has always been there. It's just usually whenever there is a number of things for the quiet ones to jump on, they'll do it then.
mhm.
But then also too, we have to understand every generation there's like new technology that's a little bit more popular to allow people to kind of express their way of how they feel about these devices. So we spoke about like we always talk about like the Wii U era and everything else of kind of how the big media companies were the voice as opposed to social media, right?
Mhm.
So we look now, social media is here.
Yep.
And I told Jay a while back, I said, be like we're gonna be prepared for the clout chasers, those that want to build channels, the ones that want to get views. It's gonna happen in
Yep.
abundance, and like you see people like reposting stuff that they are doing absolutely no research on,
Mhm.
and they just post it. They don't go back and correct themselves, and that's just what it is. And I've even seen, and this is something that is in tandem with something else that I watch on YouTube. But I was talking to my wife about this. Is I want to watch so much content of like even these content creators going to like the events and playing the games and kind of seeing what they think and is seeing if anybody feels anything different, see anything different. But what I'm running into is a bunch of channels that are just taking the Treehouse Live and then just reposting it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Jeez." Like, it's just it's like it gets to that point to where, yeah, it's come up season.
Yeah.
And till that system drops, the first couple of months or so, people are gonna get their feel. You're gonna have those that buy it and they're gonna try to showcase games and show things off because that's what brings in the
Mhm.
attention. And they honestly do not care. So that's just the nature of the game, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, people have always disliked them, but they'll put Nintendo in their mouth when they see the masses get onto them. And
Yeah.
we've always said too, yeah, there were some slip ups with Nintendo on this announcement and everything that they had. I've expressed like that Switch 2 edition thing. I don't understand why it's a thing.
Mhm.
But they chose to do it. It is what it is. But ultimately, yeah, it's gonna always be there.
Yeah. It's I think definitely in these first couple months leading all the way up to it. I mean, listen. If y'all don't want to buy the system, don't buy the system. That leaves more for
Do me
me.
a favor,
I,
yeah.
I was planning on trying to pick up two. We got a giveaway going for a Switch 2 anyway. So
Yeah.
you know what? Gives me an opportunity to go ahead and grab another one. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, like to to your to your point, it's like I guess this goes back to value. If you really don't value the system, if you really don't think it's that much, then don't buy it.
Yeah. That's
Don't
it.
waste your time.
It's too easy.
um if you complaining because you want to buy it but you don't have enough money, that sounds like a broke issue. Like, I don't know what to at the end of the day, I don't know what to tell you. I Listen, and I'm not saying that to be condescending to you, but it's honesty. Like, when the PS3 era came around and they was talking about 500, 600, 700, or
Yeah.
600, 700, $800 PS3s, I was too
Mhm.
broke to buy one. I wasn't going to buy one at that price.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to happen. I waited until the price got lower.
Mhm.
Now, if you want to argue, well, Nintendo never drops their prices. Yeah, they do. They do it during the holiday season.
Yep.
Buy it then. Oh, well, that takes too long. Again, that sounds like a you issue.
Yeah.
Save your taxes. Keep your money.
Yeah.
Pay your taxes, and then buy it with your taxes. If you can't
Yeah.
do it then, I don't know what to tell you. Play with get your best friend or your friend and play that. Yeah, I'm buying it day one too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are going to be buying it day one who said they weren't going to buy it day one. You know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to complain, and also undeserving narrative, but it's crazy how it keeps coming up. They ain't broke for the PS, right? Super
Yeah,
fast.
that was crazy. All I heard was it's a pandemic. I don't have any money, but them PS5s went away real quick.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
y'all was definitely buying them. It's about $600, $700. Oh, that's worth it. Oh, that's worth it. How much you pick yours up for? I picked mine up for $800, $900. Oh yeah, but it was better than $1,000 though. It's worth it. I got it at a good deal. Okay. Yeah, but to say all that, listen, just having they didn't start the price increase. I don't know who started that. Nintendo didn't start the price increase.
Yeah, they didn't start it. No.
Remember when we was getting on y'all for $70 games? Remember that?
Oh, I can tell you who kicked that one off.
Or y'all don't remember that?
I remember who kicked that one off. That was 2K and EA who kicked that off.
Yeah. But y'all wasn't flinching in. Oh, $10 extra. Oh, we're good. We're good.
But you know what's crazy though? Now that you bring that point up, there's people that were like, we expected Nintendo to do either like 60 or 70, but we were expecting the 80 from Sony and Microsoft with their next one. I'm like, well, why is that okay for them to do it and not Nintendo to make the jump?
Right.
It's the same thing with the arguments we constantly go back and forth about this generation conversation. It's like for them, it doesn't start until Sony or Xbox show up.
Yep. All the time.
And I get if that's your platform of choice, cool. I mean, that it is what it is. But wording is everything, which, social media is whatever. Like people take things out of context and reword things all the time. But if you're saying, hey, I'm finally in the 10th gen, that's a little bit different than saying, oh, the 10th generation just started. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It's crazy too, because the excuse that they use is, oh, it's an $80 game, but you have a system with 10-year-old tech. What? Because it's equivalent to the PS4. It's 10-year-old tech. What?
I don't understand it. To me, I don't, like I said, I never claimed to be a tech savvy person, but the last time I checked, it's almost impossible for you to take a look at a few games and tell what's inside of a console. I don't understand that.
And even on top of that, you're talking about a handheld versus a whole console
system. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What are you even talking about? And I'll even tell people this. I'm not the hugest tech head either. But there's some things that I do know, and there's some things that I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I do know is that the DLSS didn't happen until PS5 era. Like that started during PS5 era. There was no DLSS in PS4 in the PS4 generation. How does that make that 10-year-old tech? Like, where the 10-year-old tech come in from that?
Yeah.
I'll even do y'all one better. Here, we'll do it right now. Because Sandstorm is feeling good right now.
And then Retrofusion, yeah, you're right. And the one thing I keep seeing is, once again, doing the whole pancakes waffles conversation, is not that we now care. It's just now it's us acknowledging like, oh yeah, this does look nice, and yes, this does run better. It's not a
Mhm.
matter of us coming to do this contest of like, ooh, ours got 4K and ooh, ours got 60 and ooh, ours got 120. Leave that to Xbox, PC, and Sony. But
Mhm.
we just acknowledge that yes, Mario Kart is doing something it could not do before.
Yep.
Donkey Kong looks freaking amazing, and this is something it could not do before. Breath of the Wild, yes, we understood how bad it ran in certain areas. Now it runs freaking amazing, and it looks even better on top of that. So there's a difference between caring and acknowledging. It's two
Yep.
totally different things.
Oop, that was too deep. There we go. There we go. DLSS is a suite of real-time deep learning and image enhanced and upscaling technologies developed by NVIDIA. The first, we talking about the first, the original of DLS was D 1.0, which presented DLSS implementations before 2020. It doesn't say during the PS4 era.
Yeah.
So I don't know where this and I don't know where this came from. I don't know where this. Well, I do.
Yeah,
I
I
do.
you know where it came from.
I do. Apples to apples, right?
Right.
It's PS4 level. Oh, that means it's got to be 10-year-old tech because they said PS4 level.
Put all
Okay.
that stock into Digital Foundry. They have you disappointed real fast. Because they even told you that this could not have a 1080p screen. They
Mm-hmm.
told you it couldn't, but guess what it has. So I don't know. Like for me, I'm excited. I can't wait to be able to do these pre-orders. I was actually talking to the kid's mother today, and she
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Any word yet? Like any word?" She was like, "Cause I told she went to GameStop." And the guy was like, "Oh no, we don't have an actual date yet." So she's like, "I'm not gonna keep up with all this." She was like, "I'll just ask you, and you just tell
Mm-hmm.
me when to go pre-order." Because at this point, she was like, "I'm not gonna keep up with all of it." But even she's excited to see it come out, and it's not just for the kids; she's buying it for herself. But getting into the mouse mode, just the idea of the new console, being able to have something that looks amazing and runs amazing in handheld, along with the new games in itself. I
Yeah.
think that's the big plus. I really wish we would get a date on Metroid, but
Yeah,
right
me too.
now, from what I've seen of what I'm interested in immediately
Mm-hmm.
that I haven't played yet is Mario Kart World. Donkey Kong Country is the month after. I know Split Fiction is there day one.
Yep.
Cyberpunk, I believe, should be there day one.
I think
Uh,
it is day one.
okay, so Cyberpunk should be there day one. Then also two, Inazuma 11 got this
Oh
big
yeah.
blowout today, and that's finally coming. Like that game has just been in the weeds for forever. And like I was telling Geronimo, whenever they finally tell us about Deca Police, that'll be
Man,
amazing
I
too. Like
forgot about that.
that
Whoa.
game got pushed heavily. So I don't know if it was one of those let's push it back just to prepare for this next console type thing or
Yeah.
what, but they pushed that all the way back.
Dang, I
So
completely forgot about that.
I'm looking forward to seeing that come out, and to be
Mm-hmm.
prepared to play that. Now, one I had no intentions on ever copying, but I just really want to see how it functions and as well as utilize that mouse mode is Civ 7. I haven't played a Civ game since 5. Like,
Whatever was on Windows Vista, that's
no.
the last one I did.
Because I
Three,
was more
two,
interested in the Tropico games
yeah.
opposed to the Civ game. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot of games that are coming and that have already been expressed. Like I didn't play the Shadow Sonic Generations with Shadow version. I never played that, but Jay says really good, and I know that's been announced to come
Yeah.
out. So there's a lot out there that you can be excited for on all fronts. Now, the
Mm-hmm.
one that I can't wait to see if they either pull a very bold move or they pull the correct move is EA and 2K. This is where you could
Oh,
really make a name for yourself. Like y'all
yeah.
can get right with the world. You
Yeah.
can say, "Hey, look, barring of course some changes here and there, this is the same complete package as the well, you can't even call it the next generation versions, but the current generation versions.
Mm-hmm.
If they pull that crap where it's got the PS4 and Xbox One versions,
Mhm.
oh boy, I'm gonna blow a gasket because
Mm.
2K is slow. Like they're
Yeah.
very slow to do stuff, and we all know that a PC is very capable of doing what the Series X and the PS5 can do, and the
Yep.
fact that 2K25 was the first time they moved moved the new generation version over to PC. So I don't know what takes them so long. I don't know why they take so long.
That's wild.
Now, maybe it's the modding community they want to hold off on, but is one of those things to where they take their dear sweet time. And I know Madden, I don't see too many people playing on PC on Madden, but I don't know how it runs. I'm gonna look up a YouTube video on it to see how it runs. But yeah, I mean, they can do it the right way. This is their opportunity to say, you know what, it doesn't run all that great on Steam Deck because it really doesn't. It's the same thing with PGA Tour, the
Mm-hmm.
2K version and the EA version.
Yeah.
They do not. I don't care what setting you put those games on.
They still
They
run
do
that?
not run great because I have a ROG Ally. I put it up to 30 watts and I put everything at low. So all the hair is just like one individual string of hair.
Oh no, not the 3 cornrows.
And those games still run horrible. So I didn't even waste my time getting top spin, even though I really wanted top spin. I didn't even waste my time getting top spin. So I tried PGA Tour on Game Pass on the PC, and that's how I got a chance to try it out, and it runs awful. So if they find some means of getting that over and making it run the right way to where, of course, ain't nobody got to tinker,
Mm-hmm.
2K, you got me again. You know what I mean? So I just need them to do it right. I need them to do it right.
Yeah. No, definitely agreed. Um, we got a question here from Dark Void. He said, "So, question, gentlemen, what games would you like to see get the Switch 2 upgrade treatment? Me, I think Mortal Kombat 1, the Doom games, and The Witcher 3 get that treatment. I could tell you, I would have said Hogwarts Legacy, but they completely remade that game.
Which is amazing.
Um, yeah, but it actually brings me back to thoughts that maybe that game code isn't right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
with whatever, however Switch 2 is getting its the Switch 1 games to run. A lot of people saying it's through the emulator. Side note, if you have a Steam Deck, don't expect to play no Switch 2 games
Oh,
out the
they
gate.
already expecting it, dude. They already talking about it.
If Switch 2 is having problems with the emulator to run Switch 1 games, obviously those two emulators or two codings for games aren't the same.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. So, but what games would you want?
So I'm right there with Dark Void on Mortal Kombat 1. That game needs improvement. Like I feel like that needs the Hogwarts Legacy treatment. Like that just needs to be remade. Tekken 8 needs to be there in general, so there is no upgrade there. That just needs to be there. I would say what was another game that I feel like needs to get that treatment? Jesus, I'm blanking on my whole entire library. Some of the games that I would want are already listed, which are the first party games. So those are already there. As far as third party is concerned, though, really I don't have much because I didn't purchase a lot of third party on Switch because I had everything. So if anything was going to get the upgrade, it was going to be first party. But yeah, Tekken 8 definitely needs to be there. And I would say anything first party related. So whether it's Echoes of Wisdom, Age of Calamity, what am I looking at?
Calamity, yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them that could use a lot of love. And then also I do have one indie that for whatever reason it doesn't run at 60 frames per second on the Switch, because honestly, there's no reason for it not to. Tiny Ken. So Tiny Ken is this indie platformer that I have played both on Switch and I think also have it on PC. But looks like a very simplistic game. It's not a lot of stuff that goes on in each room that you go into to go and do your collection. But for whatever reason, it just runs at 30 on Switch. So that's where I started playing it. And when I went over to play it on the PC, I was like, ooh, wow, this platforming is a lot easier and it looks a lot better with it running at 60 because it's a platformer. So yeah, that's one for sure. I would love to see get a boost so that way I think I'm like on the last level of it anyway, but I would love to really see that boosted up.
J Big said Arkham Knight. That's a good one.
Ooh, I forgot about that. And also this, I don't even know if you want to count this as a boost up, but this is more of a switch. Is the whole I know they just graded the Kingdom Hearts All-in-One. All-in-One game was, I think, only in Japan and like another region, but it looks like it's been coded for other regions now. So it may be coming out. So that way we get all the Kingdom Hearts on. This Square Enix is not going to be on one cartridge. It's going to be one case, but
the complete full actual edition.
Yeah, but yeah, I would love that because I would love to run back through Kingdom Hearts 2 again. That's still one of my favorite Kingdom Hearts. I've tried to do it via emulation. I've tried to do the Birth by Sleep, and it just doesn't feel right. So I was like, I'll hold off until they do like a re-release and I can go through and they can do like some modernizing techniques for that game to make it, flow a little bit better. And I'm still not the biggest fans of these stupid gummy ships, but there's some people that love it. But
I do. I
can't stand it. I just don't build nothing. I make the most thing and I just let it rock. I don't.
Oh man, I'd be making Y wings and X wings.
I can't stand them gummy ships.
Starfighters. Yeah, I'd be going crazy. Yeah, for me, I was just trying to look over some of these. Some of the games in the background. Any of the 3D Pokemon games?
Those better. Those better.
I think even just like a regular performance without having to pay, but they'll cost money. It is what it is.
But the Scarlet Violet won't. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
But how did you get Brilliant Diamond
and Shining Pearl?
Yeah, did you get those?
I hear a lot of people not like them, but like. This is a top-down game. Like
yeah.
It doesn't really. It plays exactly like how it did before.
Right.
I don't know what you were expecting, but one I'm surprised a lot of people don't talk about more. Bayonetta 3.
True. But I think a lot of people really didn't touch Bayonetta 3 though. Yeah, a lot of people didn't touch it.
I think it would help it out a lot.
Yeah, it would.
Especially with the frame pacing. If you can get that's nasty. If you can get 1080p at 120 on Bayonetta,
that would be crazy because that game is all fast paced.
Yeah, that would be nasty.
Yeah, Certain Square. I always forget about my baby, which is Splatoon. Because like I said, I wasn't too happy with 3 this time around. Great game. It's just I don't know. It didn't feel right. So like me and my son went back to 2. But yeah, if they can make Splatoon 3 like flow and give it mouse mode, like that's like if we're talking upgrades, unless they got 4 right around the corner, like that should have been a Nintendo Switch 2 edition game too. Because you could have easily added mouse mode to that game.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And I think it would be so for Splatoon to have the mouse controls with that, I think I would probably get back into it a little bit more.
Me too.
Because it's so hard to do with just the sticks and
gyro. Like it's supposed to be a combination, but it's still it doesn't feel right sometimes.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. So I think I would get back into it. More likely to get back into it if it had the mouse mode. Cereza and the Lost Demon. Jazzy said Astro Jazzy and FL said
that would need it too. That would need it for sure.
Marvel
Rivals.
Rivals.
Yeah, that's right. It didn't come to Switch, so they'd be crazy not to bring it to the Switch too. That'd be nuts.
Was the pacing okay for Ultimate Alliance?
Well, Ultimate Alliance had bigger problems to me, but I would say the pacing, if I remember correctly, because it's been a while since I played it, I think it was okay. It could always be better, but in order for them to do anything with that game, I would rather them fix the camera, because if I'm playing multiplayer and I'm player one, there's no reason for you to keep the camera on me if I die. So now it means everybody else can't fight if I'm all the way out of frame.
Right.
So now you're just going off of wishes and hopes because you can't see what you're doing, because for whatever reason the game doesn't take the camera off of player one. I don't know why it does that.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm trying to think of any early on ones.
I'm going through a list now because I would say all Xenoblade games for sure.
Yeah.
Like give them that boost, that love.
Any of the Team Ninja games?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I didn't play Death's Door on Switch, so I'm curious on how that ran. But I mean that was a good game. I was playing that on the Xbox because they had that on Game Pass. I'm trying to think. Well, I mean I'm pretty sure there's tons games that you can really go back and spruce up. But I really want them to. This is an opportunity to add this mouse mode and really show, hey, we're going to utilize the gimmick that we put out there, because we all know every one of them do it. They put it out there for a few games and then they stop using it. Third parties, it's like, why would I even use it as a third party? You're not even using it, so why would I use it?
Right.
So I'm looking at for sure like these roguelike games like Enter the Gungeon. I think that would benefit from mouse mode. Overcooked, I believe, would benefit. The 2 Point Campus game, the 2 Point games, because they have like 2 Point Campus, 2 Point Hospital, 2 Point Museum, they would benefit. Streets of Rage 4 ran pretty well. I don't think it would need any love, not for real.
I think if they do have Diablo 4, then it should be Diablo 4 with mouse mode for Switch.
That'd be crazy. Yeah. So I mean, there's tons that they could go back and spruce up. There's only like a handful that jump out that was like, please fix me. But I'm more inclined to just, hey, give me stuff that you add a mouse mode to.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Ukulele because they redoing that again. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that game. I don't know. That I played the first one. It was but I think if they made some changes, it can really catch people's attention. I think I just wanted too much out that game and just didn't get it. So, but yeah, there's tons of games. So that's a good question. But there's tons of games that really need, a little bit of love, like Dragon Quest Builders. I fell in love with that series when I played the first one. That can really stand to get a boost in performance, because it's a lot that can go on in that game at one time. That could really kill the frame rate on the Switch. But yeah, I mean, really, you're good across the board on almost anything to spruce it up. But there's just some that, deserve it a little bit more than others, of course.
Yeah, I was trying to think of any more. Actually, one of my games that I don't think is ever, to be honest with you, I'd be surprised if it showed up. I was surprised when it showed up for the Switch. Is Luminous.
Okay.
So that game tends to slow down, especially in transition of levels. I think it slows down a lot.
That's a game that it should. Yeah, you can't afford for that to slow down.
No. I would love to see. So So they never made a Thumper 2, but I think there was like a spiritual successor of another game that was.
Yep.
But I would love to see them do a Thumper 2, either in 4K 60 or 1080 120. That game was good.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. I feel like any of the 8-bit joints that we got, I think a lot of those should have 60 frame capped 60 frame. That would be dope.
Yeah, there's a lot that they could go back and grab and play with, but honestly, like I said, I'm more interested in the mouse mode into like Dark Void. Yeah, I mean, if they I don't care if it's Warzone, I don't care if it's the latest Call of Duty. If you don't put mouse mode in that game, that's just stupid. Like that's just stupid on Activision's part if they do not do that. That's wild. Because it's really what you should do. It's because I mean, right now, what's the reasoning for not putting as many inputs as you possibly can? Especially because we've seen how seamless you can jump from mouse to Joy-Con. So it's like, all right, cool. If I'm in mouse mode and I'm playing and I just want to switch back, just flip it up, and then now you got gyro and pointer and motion to play that game. To where now you can genuinely like really move around without worrying about the right stick to really aim and shoot and be a little bit more precise. That'll be a no-brainer.
Not reading you, risky ukulele. So yeah, I think that's it for now. There's more that I wanted to cover, but unfortunately, it is like already almost 12 o'clock.
Oh yeah.
Which is wild to me. And the Sandman is a deacon, and deacons do have to get up early every morning.
Yeah, that's true.
To make sure that the church is okay. So we will have more discussion. Actually, there is going to be more discussion about it tomorrow on the Winging It podcast. So make sure you guys show up there. Before we get out of here, Jack, you got anything up for us?
No, man. Honestly, like I said, taking it easy for the most part. Just in preparation for this pre-order, man.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited for the pre-order too. Actually, I once again took May 8th off, so we'll see. Because I think that's the date, right? For us pre-orders.
At least that's what's been floating around. Apparently, some people saying it's not true. I don't know, but we'll see.
Okay, well. I took May 8th off, and I plan on taking June 5th off as well. So we can do a complete unboxing here and probably check out some games, as well as the giveaway, which probably won't be to whomever on that day, obviously. So you are going to be a day late, but make sure that you are a subscriber. And I will put the giveaway in the description below. Actually, I'll do that now to make sure I don't forget. For your chance to win a Switch 2, yes, I am buying an extra Switch 2 to give to somebody. I'm sure one of y'all would be excited to have it. I wonder, that's a good question. Do you think that somebody would be like, I don't want this, even if it was for free? Like,
nah, ain't nobody that crazy. If anything, if they really didn't want it, they'd turn around and flip it.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, well, don't flip my stuff. It's mine. You can't tell me to flip my stuff. Okay, don't flip my stuff. Yeah, so make sure you check in the description below. We have the giveaway as well. Every Saturday, 7 o'clock, usually. We are here for the Stormcast. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock, we will have the Winging It podcast. And Sunday at 7 o'clock, we have the Jill podcast. So make sure you show up for all three of those. Thank you, Squared, Risky, RJ, Jazzy, Dark Void, Joycey for coming through, Jay Biggs, Brand Smith, Legend of Josh. Appreciate you showing up. He even threw out a little something, and I didn't catch it. So my bad, Josh. Digital Foundry, using the term PS4 level, already exposes them trying to tell their ignorance as facts. Yeah. Super facts, man. I what it Exo, you said I would feel too much like you trying to, and then you were buying me. Nah, man. Nah, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. But you gonna turn them games off at 11 o'clock though. So other than that, we're done here. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out, or on your way in if you're just now watching. Thank you, and we will see you guys later.